screen that we're live. All right. I think we're live. I hope we're live.
Find out here in a second.
Yeah, Chris is going to find out here in a second if we're live. I know this is a little funky setup. You got Chris's face is kind of jacked up, but we're about to shrink this screen anyway. So today's going to be a little bit different format in that I wanted to do sort of garage design live stream and get your input. I've already gotten quite a bit of input from people. The thing with me is I take in all things that people say. I don't always act on that, but I always take it all in. Are we looking good?
Yep, we're good.
All right, cool. All right, so let me share my screen. So I'm gonna kind of go through this. Chris is gonna, cut me off when needed, when you have questions, but feel free to ask questions or make suggestions. I'm going to be using my rather crude software here called Home Designer, and show you what it is I've been working on. Have been using to lay out the garage at my house. And actually, while we're talking here, I want to pull up another file so that I can kind of show you contextually where this is going to lay out on my property, and why we're gonna making a shift in what my original plan was, which was to build it out back. I was planning on building it in the back side of my house. I have 5.7 acres. I think it's 5.67 acres. And we're going to be doing it quite a bit differently than I originally planned. All right, so there's an agreement. So we'll pull this up because we might need that file. And then there was another little file. Yeah, this thing here. Okay. All right, so let me switch screens here, and you can see what we got. And let me get the OBS out of here so that way you don't have an infinite loop of images. So we'll pull that over onto my second screen, and it looks good, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so here is what my house looks like. So for those of you who aren't familiar, I've been talking about this since the beginning of YouTube and 2014, even at the Brown house, my old house, I'd always intended and I've always wanted to build a garage, right? That's been the goal. At the old house, I had an oversized two-car garage with an 18-foot door, and I'd always thought, well, I could add on to that or buy the lot across the street. I've always been scheming, and I haven't ever gotten anything done. And then when I bought this house, this is the house that I live in right now. You can see on screen. When I bought this house, the problem is it didn't have a garage. Right? So I bought a house. So here I am, Mr. Obsessed Garage. I ain't got no garage. This is freaking stupid. So the difficulty has been when I bought it, I originally designed or planned to build a garage like out here. And then I hired the Morton. I was going to build the Morton building, which is a metal building, thinking that would be more economical. And we'd gotten the size up to something like 40 by 90. And then it came in, a freaking metal building came in at like $130 a square foot or something crazy. I'm like, well, I mean, how is a metal garage, a metal building with nothing in it, just a big rectangle? There's no bathrooms. There was a bathroom, but there's no like kitchen and walls all over the place. How does that cost more than building a freaking house? And I was going to have to do my own subcontracting on a bunch of the stuff because all they do is they build the metal part. And then I've got some stinky old metal building instead of a building that looks like my house. So that kind of postponed things back in 2016. Obsessed Garage really started to take off in 2017. I took the money that I had allocated to build a garage and kind of took my time, and then next thing you know, we're in 2021 and I still haven't built a garage. So I'm Obsessed Carport, not Obsessed Garage, but we're going to change that. So the original plan was we changed the idea of building it over here on the side. And so the proposed design was to build a garage here. And I was all over this. And I talked about this in the previous podcast and talked about this in some other videos. what I was going to do was, instead of building like a 70 by 40 garage, I was going to build something smaller, something like 30, something maybe like 40 by 30 or something like that, just to get an oversized 4-car garage, but design it so that I could add on to it. And so I was looking at different options of how could I add on to it, and you sort of make it modular. So I contacted the architect who kind of drew this stuff up for me, and actually I have the plans here. I can kind of show you. This was version 3. This was this design, which I've showed before on the YouTube channel. So this was the design of the garage, which was 40 feet deep and 67 feet long, 2 garage doors, and then a utility closet. I'm trying to make sure I can get around here. A bathroom, some storage here, some storage under the stairs. And the way it would be set up, the way this was structured, is that it would have attic trusses with square trusses, so that the second floor looked like this. So you'd come up the stairs, and then we had this kind of bonus storage area, but rather narrow. This is only 13 feet 8 wide, and so it would be kind of limited on what you could do up here. But that was the original plan. I was kind of waiting on doing this, and so if we built this out here, notice the red area, I was going to extend the driveway. I was going to then knock out the wash bay and eventually do my little closet wash bay here, and make this just like a pull through, build a little basketball court here, extend the driveway out. So all this in red is more concrete. All of this section here is more concrete. All of this is concrete. So I'm sure you guys can sort of fathom that's not going to be cheap. I'm going to have a 80 or 90 or $100,000 just in concrete. And then it's also going to be more difficult than getting the approvals and stuff like that with the county and cleaning green and all that junk. So I'd pretty much decided this was what I was going to do. I called the architect, and the structure was going to look something like this, like it looks now. Let me show you kind of what the elevation looked like. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. The one before that. So the idea was it's going to look like the house. So let me rotate your view here. View counterclockwise. And so here, this was the 40 by 67 garage. Am I making sense? You following this, Chris? Mm-hmm. You got this here.
I think we just want to clarify here for folks who are paying attention. So this was the original plan. This is not what is happening now, correct?
This is the right. This is the second plan. First plan was the Morton building.
Right.
Second plan was this building. Third plan was to sort of design it so that I wouldn't have to build quite this big, but build a smaller building like this with the ability to add on a wash bay and add on a building. And then I had a meeting with my coach, and I just kind of happened to mention it. I wasn't calling to get coaching on what garage I'm going to build, but I happened to show him. I said, "Yeah, check this out. This is cool. We're going to build a driveway here and there, and all this, and then have this building out back. And my house is over here." And he says, "Who the heck's going to want to walk from back here all the way to the house?" I said, "Well, I don't freaking care." He said, "Yeah, but I would." He says, "Why don't you just add it onto the house? Because now you're starting to turn this into like an industrial complex." I was like, "Get out of here," because I had my mind made up. And I said, "No, that's stupid. I'm going to build this awesome detached garage. That's what every car guy dreams of." He says, "Yeah, but someday you may want to sell this thing." And one of my biggest concerns of this whole project has been, I'm going to ruin this house by building this. Building a 2,500 square foot second home on the back of the property, this monster that I'm never going to get my money back for. What do they call it? It's called like an auxiliary structure. It doesn't count toward your like normal square footage, so it won't appraise as well. And so, getting even construction to permanent financing, I was basically going to have to pay cash for this thing. It's just not as practical building a separate structure. And so Rick said, "Why don't you just add on to your house?" So this is the square here. "Why don't you add on to your house, and then it makes it more sophisticated. It makes it more, first of all, more square footage. Secondly, it's right there, and thirdly, it's just easier to finance. It's easier to get approved. It'll make your house look bigger. Yes, I'll still have an overbuilt house for the area I live, but whatever. I'm not going to lose as much if we were to sell the property to make it more desirable that it's right there. And then my gears started turning. I don't know. I never even thought of this because my home theater is right here. So this single block structure is my home theater. And here's another view of it that he sort of drew up here recently. My architect did real quickly for me. Why can't I freaking zoom out here? Let's go here. Zoom. Actual size. Will that work? Nope. I just want a zoom tool. Why don't I have a freaking zoom tool right here at the top? Nope, that's not it. So you can see down here how we're going to bolt it on. So this single story block structure is my home theater. And the other thing I was kind of reluctant as I'm thinking through this, where is freaking zoom out? What am I missing here? Zoom to fit height? There we go. Gosh. So the thing that was kind of holding me up here was like, well, this is my home theater. And so what I'll do is I'll turn this into an office or something, and I'll build a new home theater upstairs. But I already spent, who knows how much I spent to build this darn home theater, and I like it. So once it dawned on me, first, build it, attach it to the house, and make the house bigger. Second, leave the home theater alone, and then it clicked. Now the question is, how big do I build it? Do I build it? So this is the driveway here. Obviously, we would relocate the driveway. We put the garage doors out front here, and so the question is, how big do I go? And I staked this out the other night. It's just freaking. And I'm bigger than this here now, 67 feet. I think I'm at 70 feet and 58 feet deep or something like that. So let me show you what I'm thinking. This is where I'm at. This might change a little bit, but just so you have a frame of reference or what it looks like here structurally from the this kind of triangle that the house is going to create. It's going to look just like the house from the front with the dormers and the same whatever the pitch of the roof is and all of that stuff. It is all going to look very similar, but with the exception of this is going to have to be taller than the house because we're going to have 14-foot ceilings in the lower section and then 10-foot ceilings upstairs. So now let me just close these tabs and let's work with Home Designer here. Any questions? Does that make sense?
We got a couple suggestions on zooming out if we need that again, so I'll come back to that. Speaking of outdoor kitchen, Matt, are you going to do 2-for-1 special and fix your outdoor kitchen while doing this garage?
I don't think so because I'll probably have a mental breakdown. So one thing I've been considering is we want to do new bathrooms upstairs, new flooring, so all the stuff, the video I made here recently about doing sort of phase 3 of the upgrades to the interior of my house. That I've kind of held off doing as we're building OG here. We changed the kitchen and the master and did those two things as part of phase 1 and kind of setting up the decorating of the house and all that and paint. And that was all sort of phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 3 would be, new bathrooms upstairs, new flooring, new banister, make some changes. So if you haven't seen that video, you can go check that out. And so one question would be, if I'm going to do some sort of construction to permanent refinancing, I'll explain how that would work for those of you who aren't aware how that would work at the end of this call or the end of this discussion. But, I could kind of roll it all into one thing, but I don't know that I want to tear apart the entire property all at once. But, maybe it's sometimes better just pull off the Band-Aid and do it all together.
Let me tell you this. I'm going to kind of snag some stuff from the chat to put in a Word doc for you later because some of this is worth thinking about later. And then one other thing before we get too far, because I know we have an announcement about this. Folks asking about the garage giveaway, when that's going to happen. So while we're talking about garages, what's the deal there?
Well, we have it booked. I'm going up October 30th through as many days as it takes for us to get. So Mike and I are going, and then Mike, Bryce, Kyle are going with me. And we're going to shoot a whole video series and do the garage. It's going to be freaking awesome. It's going to make us really want to do another giveaway here soon. So, sort of keep that in mind as we get closer to that. But you'll be seeing those videos come out over the next couple of weeks. But it has all the product there. The only thing we're missing are upper cabinets, so that would be the last part of the process. But once those will come in like January or something for him. But everything else is there, and we're gonna make this this garage look amazing in his house. So that's what we're doing. All right, so here's the layout that I have currently. And so one of the things I wasn't considering that I now can't live without is to do an interior wash bay, and that's what you see here. And so this is the structure. So it's right now, I don't know if I can even fit this, but it's 59 feet 3 inches deep. And then it is 69 feet 11 inches, so 70 feet long to this wall here. And just a couple of things that I'm pretty adamant about. One, I don't like to break up straight walls with offices or bathrooms or closets or little rooms. I don't like that. I don't like little rooms. And that's a real common thing in a lot of garages that I really don't like. And so but the problem I was having with this being 58 by 70 was that it's just one huge room. And I don't know, it felt a little too big. It's still probably too big because I don't have like huge aspirations to have like 24 cars. But that's when the concept of doing some sort of pull-through wash bay started to click with me. It's been a very common comment for a lot of people was that you should be able to pull through the garage, and I get that. I just don't want to sacrifice the back wall for the capability to pull through, and so we'll sort of show you all this stuff here while we're going through it. So anyway, the left side of the garage here is these are 18-foot doors. I don't know exactly what the doors are going to look like. It's going to largely be dictated by if I do Rytec doors or not, because this isn't a traditional garage, because it's so open up here, because I'm rarely ever going to have 4 cars parked right next to each other like this section here would be like a traditional garage. And so you'd want to put like 20-foot doors, and you'd want to have probably more space between the sides. But I'm sacrificing some of that space for this. I may extend it out a little bit more. Every 2 feet I move it out costs another $50,000. So I don't know if I want to do that. So I've got to draw the line somewhere. But I'm still playing with the width of the wash bay, which is 20 feet wide roughly, or 19 feet 4. And then Nick Jones sent me an email and says, "Look, mine's 19 foot 6. I wish I had another foot." So the difference between his garage and mine is I won't have anything on the walls on the sides because all of my equipment is going to be in, my pressure washer and all that is going to be in this closet back here. But a lot of this is going to be dictated by what I end up doing on the wash bay width, and that'll dictate how far out. But I definitely want a 4-car opening, I think. So that's plan 1. And so if we do Rytec doors, for those of you who aren't familiar, let's see if we can bring that up here real quickly.
A quick question for you. What are your current measurements of your wash bay?
Current is 30 feet deep. No, 27 feet deep, so it's 27 feet in, and it's around that. I think it's 19, and let's just say 20. It's almost 20 feet wide, because I can fit 2 cars side by side, but it's kind of tight to fit 2 cars. But Rytec are the same doors that you saw at these doors, which I'm not even sure we can make look the part. But they are these like super high speed doors, the ones that if you go back and watch the Drivers Club video, those type of doors, which I'm sure we could probably make look good. Commercial level door that has these high speed automotive sort of manufacturing facility type type product. So that's something I'm really interested in adding, but we'll see if it's practical cost wise, because I think they're about 20 grand a piece. So I don't know, but if we're in it this deep, I don't know, maybe we'll go there. So then maybe I can get Rytech to sponsor the project. So then you have room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cars in this section right here. Again, 12 cars. I'm always going to have an Obsessed Garage facility where I can fit another 12 cars. I'm not going, I doubt I'm going down that path. But one thing I'm also pretty adamant about that most people don't seem to mind is I'm not putting any freaking 4-posts anywhere, because they take up so much space. It's such a waste. So I don't want any 4-post lifts unless I have a 4-post somewhere for an alignment rack. That's about the only reason I'd have a 4-post. And so you drive over here on the left. The reason why I'm offsetting the noose bomb over here to the left is so that I can watch TV when I'm working on the car. Is that stupid? Because if you have the thing in the center, then a lot of times you're just not gonna be able to see the display as well. And so the other thing I like about having the lift over here on the left is that then I can leave a car on there and I kind of have it out of the way. But this will be recessed, and you'll have to keep an eye out. I have a noose bomb Jumbo 7 here. We're going to be installing, not flush mount, but I will be talking a lot about flush mounting, and I've gotten a lot of information. Byron from Noose Bomb visited last week, so we're going to be become experts on the Noose Bomb product. But we'll be putting a Jumbo 7 here, which goes up to 78 inches. And we'll have Cox hose reels on all 4 corners, like I do in the the garage here. And then there'll be another parking sort of on ground work area, and so that's the structure of the main garage. I'll have an airdrop over here on the left, and another thing I considered is, from a pull-through perspective, this is big enough that I could put a door, because the driveway is going to run right down the left side of this here. I could put a door right here, because I like symmetry. So the center of this door, or the center of the 2 of these doors, is going to be the center of this cabinet array. And we're going to have some, I haven't figured out windows yet, but we're going to have some transom windows. Transom windows are tall, wide windows up high. I don't want any window obstruction down low, but we're going to put tons of windows in here so there's tons of light. But I got to work on that. So one thing I could do is put a door over here, and then you could sort of drive in and drive out and park things, because this is going to be big enough, at least for the next several years. If I have 4 or 5, 6 cars, or I'm going to be able to park them crooked, sideways, put car capsule showcases in here, do whatever I want. That's what I want. I want headroom and room to move around, rather than have it super tight, stacked with cars on 2-post lifts or 4-post lifts everywhere. And so that is one way I could make it a pull through, but I'm not willing to sacrifice the back wall for that. And the only place I could put a door would be over here on the left, because behind here is where my generator, my water, well, my tank for gas is all right back here, that this garage can be butted up against, because it's dictated by the front of the thing here. But we may be able to design it where the elevation kind of sticks out here to the front, so it may shift down in this direction a little bit and may not have a straight wall across, and we may be able to pull something like that off. The other thing I've considered, in order to shrink the depth down, is to bump this out, so it's it creates an elevation, so the wash bay is bumped out 4 or 5 feet. That way I don't need to have so much depth here. Because I modeled the Raptor, and so I want it to be long enough to clean a Raptor, and so that's kind of where I've come up with this, this structure, this setup here, that even though it would be a little bit tight, we still have 7 feet on each side of the darn thing, and then plenty of room to wash a Raptor. So that would likely be the biggest vehicle I'd ever really care to get in there. I'm not buying motorhomes and stuff like that. And so the wash bay door, this is a 12-foot door here, so you pull into the wash bay. This is a slot drain. We're going to run down basically every square inch of it. Depending on the pitch, the drain basin will probably be down here on the outside. I don't know how that's going to go. We'll have a floor sink over here on the left, like you saw at Nick Jones's garage out in the Golden, Colorado area. This is where my bucket filler will be, with a floor sink underneath it, somewhere on one of these walls. Don't get too hung up on the staircase. I don't know how this is going to go. The software, I'm not as sophisticated as I need to be to figure out that to walk straight up this 14 feet. It's going to be like a dungeon. So this is probably going to have to be actually a little bigger than this. This is only 3 feet. Carrying furniture and stuff up here isn't going to be very practical. So we're probably going to have to make this bigger. But I just wanted to give the architect an idea, and then he can start to lay out the specifics. But one of the keys here to this area is that these will all be block. So the building's likely going to be block. And so I want these walls to be block inside of here. This here's a 16-foot door, and so I want block walls, so that way all I have to do is paint them. I don't like fiberglass reinforced FRP board. I don't want to tile the walls all the way up, so we'll do block walls and probably cement board ceilings or something like that, where we'll have. This is going to be a separately air-conditioned and dehumidified area. We'll probably just have a mini split in here with a separate dehumidifier that'll be in this room that will suck the water out of here. Because anytime I'm washing, this door is going to be closed. This will be a roll-up door, and this door will be a Rytec door. And so these doors will be high speed, but closed for when washing, and then when not washing, the reason why I want the interior door bigger is 90% of the time, 95% of the time, this door is going to be open, if that makes sense. And so in here, where if you were to take a look at, I haven't really designed what it looks like inside of here, but I just wanted to kind of show you what the methodology here. So depending on how the staircase, so this would likely, what the heck? So this would be a wall, right? I know it's showing open here, but this is all this space under here is where all my utility is going to be. So again, this wall will be block, and the staircase will be behind this wall. But the concept is that this is where my air compressor, this is where my pressure washing system is going to be. This is where my central vac is going to be, the Mosmatic air dryer. And so actually on this, I don't even know what the heck this was. But on this here, I'm going to have holstered, I'm going to have at least 4 boom poles in here. 1 for vacuum, 1 for air dryer, 1 for a dedicated foaming lance from Osmatic. So instead of using a foam cannon, I'm going to have a 50-gallon tank of soap with a metering system that allows me to have to foam right from the tank using the Osmatic foaming lance rather than using a foam cannon. And then I'll have the normal lance for normal washing. We'll have clips on all the corners to pull out your floor mats and affix those to the wall. This here I would like to be glass. So if I can do some sort of big corner glass, maybe up 8 feet or something like that, so that it feels open. I do like, kind of closed off things, but, I want this to be, look and feel open. So maybe the floor sink would go down here or something like that. And I'm probably going to try to squeeze another couple of feet out of this, and I'm probably going to bump this out and change the front elevation a little bit to give it a little less character, a little more character instead of just a straight line. And then what that'll afford me the ability to do is not have to make the garage so deep, because the concept here is that I take a car and I wash it. So here's the car, pulls in, everything's closed off. The car's washed, the dehumidifier's going. It's a separate AC system from this room here, so that way, I'm not getting mold and stuff, and having mist and stuff end up in the main garage. Once you're done with the car, it's all blown off the Mosmatic dryer. All the water is totally deionized and treated, so we'll have water softening So we'll have a reverse osmosis system with a reverse osmosis tank with really sophisticated deionization. And so this will be completely spot-free water. And then I'll pull the car up. When I'm done, it'll get pulled up here onto the lift. That way when I'm doing my drying aid application, I don't have to bend over. And I need enough room to where, and the magical formula from the end of the lift ramp, because you'll have the, in this case you won't have, actually, yeah, this needs to be a little bit closer, I think. But the magical formula is, I believe it was 110 inches between the end of the lift and here, so that when you open a drawer, you have plenty of room to open the drawer, walk through, but you can easily reach the drawer. So there'll be a sink here. So this will be Sonic MSS Plus or maybe modular line cabinets. Sink here, the 2 microfiber towel storage cabinets, all of my drying tools and detailing supplies. Over here on this wall is going to be some stainless shelves with all of my Press-All bottles all lined up and ready. And so this is where I'm going to have color transitioning, Cree, what are they called? Man, I gotta freaking remember the name of these Cree fixtures. Check these things out. This is what I'm hoping to do. What is that freaking noise?
The vacuum cleaner.
Idiots. Cree lighting. Let me show you this. This is freaking cool.
Hey, here's a good idea for you from Ken in the chat. Make that utility wall glass and make it like a display case. Not practical, but it would look sick.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, which one is he talking about?
The one where
Over
the
here.
pressure washer system. And
Yeah, and then have really like amazing. Here it is, Cadient. Check this freaking crap out. I got to get pricing on this, but these fixtures, it basically looks like a skylight, and these suckers, they're probably $1,200 a piece, and I probably need 80 of them, so it's probably not going to happen. But these lights, they look like this, and but they color transition. You can transition from I think like 20 or like 2,000 Kelvin to 7,000 or something crazy. You can even program them so they color transition from day to night, so it feels like you have a skylight. But this area is going to have some insane lighting, because this is where all any polishing and inspection would be done. Again, I'll have my Cox reels on all 4 corners, all of my Press-All and products displayed over here with all the same labels on some really cool stainless shelves. Yeah, it's going to be freaking awesome. A big transom window, or this will probably have a big window, not transom, but like a normal big bay window. So when you're washing at the sink, you can see. But I'll also probably have window treatments here so that I can control the light when I want to do paint correction or something like that. So that's the concept here. And the reason why I had to make this so deep is because if I pulled a Raptor up here, I needed room to be able to pull the Raptor. And so I think I just made up the solution now, but I think changing the elevation of the building here and bringing this out might make sense. Remember, this is the home theater that already exists. So my home theater's here, and this is a storage closet for all the kids' bikes and all that crap. The water heater's here, power comes in here, and so all of this here is our utility closet, which will serve and function to have all of our utility stuff for that supports this thing. So then up here again was this is all the tools stuff. 65 or 70. I actually sized a 77 OLED here, just single display. This, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with audio, but we'll have killer, probably in-ceiling audio and some strategically placed subwoofers throughout this facility here. And then over here on the right is where, and you guys talk me into it, I'll do some sort of crappy little bathroom. I just not a big, like, oh my gosh, like, remember, there's a bathroom like right over here, like in the house. It's like right here. And there's another bathroom like right back here. How many freaking bathrooms do you need? I mean, are you racing to explode the bathroom? Or can you just, if I got to take a leak, guess what I'll do? I'll just walk in here, just take a leak in the drain.
Oh, that's what the slot drain is for.
Right. I don't know. I just don't get super hung up on that. People are like, you gotta have a bathroom. But it's the same people that walk around with a freaking water bottle everywhere they go. I don't need bathrooms all over the place. Bathrooms cost a lot of money.
So does all the rest of this.
Yeah, well, but it's like an extra expense that I don't care about. What I do care about is I want to have full laundry capability. So this is like the microfiber shrine over here. And I thought about, so I may shrink this down a little bit or adjust this a little bit, but I've thought about, and the reason why I put the door in the corner here is because I want this wall to display all my stuff. You know, all of my whatever you call it, bottles. This is what it's all about. So having the whole reason I'm chasing Pressall or IK or whatever, and having logos, so we can have all of our products all lined up in the same size bottle with a matching gallon next to it, and ready to go. And then all of our microfiber towels. So I needed enough sink. So I actually I need to add another cabinet here. I need enough sink, so this will be a sink in here as well, but enough countertop space to fold my towels, Speed Queen washer dryer in here, and something tells me Michelle's going to be sneaking over here and washing 2 loads at once, because the other laundry room is like right over here on the right. I think this is pretty sick, but I don't want any freaking walls everywhere. I don't want to take this and just break up walls. I want square, long, rectangle walls. The thing that I'm having a hard time dealing with and understanding the scale of 70 feet long. When I staked it out, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like a freaking football field. So this is why I'm starting to think maybe I'm getting a little crazy here, but this is kind of what I do.
We got a couple questions here for you. Humorous questions from the chat.
Okay.
They want to know if you have your microfiber shrine, which wall is going to be the one for the license plates and the trophies? You need somewhere to put the display case with your Corvette die-casts. Zach Miller has an idea. Just slap a urinal on the wall.
Yeah.
A couple people agreed with that here.
I don't like that. I'll just pee in the slot drain. It's freaking 29 feet long. I just or I'll walk into the house, and I don't know. I'm just not a... Because then when you have urinals and dudes are taking leaks all over the floor and crap, I don't know.
Let's see. Better off having a washer and dryer. 2 dryers per washer. That's interesting. David's suggestion there. I don't know. 1 dryer.
Well, because the timing takes twice as long to dry. I don't know.
Any plans here? 808 is asking here in the chat for free weights or any sort of gym equipment in here. Is this all dedicated to?
I've been down that road. I talked to Michelle. I'm like, maybe I'm going to build in a little gym, which I would love to do. I'd make it freaking awesome just like I did before. And then guess what? I'd never use it. I just get all stressed out. I'm not a workout by myself kind of guy. It's like the one social thing I appreciate. I don't know how like all these CrossFit dudes like they just work out every day by themselves. And I want to go and compete and try, at least have some buddies to suffer with. So even though yesterday I went out super hot and got, freaking fell on my face, it was terrible.
We got a couple real quick here because a couple guys in the chat are asking about maybe having entrance on the back, or are you committed to having the doors on the front? Because their idea is leave the front looking like the house.
Well, I can't do it on the back because there's trees and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I like garage doors. I don't know. I like the look of them. Because I thought about, you could do it over here, but then I don't have a straight wall the way I'd like, because I want the entrance to be here. So I don't know how to draw this out. I haven't gotten this far, but so remember the covered walkway is over here on the right, and so this will be like a little corridor that you'll walk out. So this is where we're going to come in and out 99% of the time. Is I'm going to walk across the breezeway. We're going to do some sort of covered walkway right over to here. And then you'll turn left and go up the stairs. If you're going to go upstairs to to the house or to the upper area of this, or you'll walk into the garage. I just think this is cool.
Quick question here from Chris on Instagram. Wants to know if you're going to be transferring your current pressure washer to the new wash bay, or if you're which one you'll be using over there.
In here, I'm going to do a 5 gallon per minute KWS 1200. And this is we're gonna develop all kinds of new products for this, for like other people that are gonna be doing, because we're gonna be building out a full-on design facility here. I'm not gonna be doing installs in the world, but we're gonna build a robust. I'll end up hiring a CAD Revit professional. We're gonna get a virtual reality machine here and be 3D modeling people's garages and stuff. Like, I'm gonna go into this pretty deep. And the retail aspect of things, even if that isn't like for everyone, I think we're gonna have people flying in from all over the world to come and learn how to design and build their garage. We'll sell them all the products. So we're gonna be building a full service that's not home designer like what I'm fumbling with right here. But this is the start of this, to kind of figure this out. So, my wager is this garage is going to pay for itself 50 times over. So when you start freaking out about, I've got too much money and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. What happened to our viewers? Are we still live here? Oh,
yeah, we got 289 watching now.
Okay. So that's the lower section of the garage. Really simple. I'm digging into some Cree lighting options. Just showed you. Shoot, I should have left it open. But we're going to be doing some combination of those. I've already forgotten the name of it again. What was it called?
Cadient?
Yeah, the Cadient light system. But these new construction downlights as well. If you do the KR series, they have square light fixtures as well, which is, I think, super cool. And I'm probably going to go, so they have a KR6 square, which is a 6-inch square fixture. And they have 5,000 lumen versions. I don't know that you'd want to go that bright. And they have 5,000 Kelvin color temps as well. And so doing these KR, some sort of combination in a perfect world would be the Cadient lights combined with some KR series stuff, and then this would be a segue hopefully to us being able to carry these in combination with the much less expensive, because I think these are like $270 a piece or something like that for new construction. And we're going to first be building out a full lighting solution. I'd like to work with Cree and becoming a dealer for that, and so we'll use my garage as the guinea pig, and kind of figuring out how to take our lighting to the next level. We'd be fine doing our lighting fixtures in this facility or in this garage, but I think I want to do something recessed and permanent rather than just screwing it to the ceiling, which isn't the world's worst thing. They don't look terrible, but I think that doing it permanently would look better.
Are you going to have any sort of vacuum system?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, so we'll also probably strategically place vacuum drop over here on this wall, over here on this wall somewhere, maybe 2 or 3 of them. But the main vacuuming, I'll actually have vacuum. I'll have a vacuum on a boom pole that swivels around the car. So we'll have 4 Mosmetic Z booms here, strategically placed in the wash bay, where 99% of the vacuuming will go down, or the vacuuming will happen here. The other thing I'd consider is I could put 2 extra vacuum hose reels hanging down from the ceiling here as well. I'd consider doing that. We might test that out and try something like that. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I have to be very intentional because this is not an open ceiling like it is here in HQ. So then you go upstairs, and again, the stairway, I know people are freaking out about this when I shared in the Facebook group. Look, I just kind of threw this together. I don't really care too much about the upstairs. The problem is now I have 4,000 square feet of upstairs to put something in. I want a guest room. That's what we need. A guest room. And I got 4,000. I got an entire large house that I got to do something with, right? So, but I want to, if we're going to do this, building up doesn't cost as much as building out, right? Because of the foundation. You have one foundation, one slab. The other reason why we decided, my architect came up with this. I'm sure he's going to come up with a million other things that I'm not thinking of. Is I was going to just utilize the home theater area, but then I'd have 2 different slabs, and I don't want that. I want the slab to be the same. Okay, so then upstairs, looks like this. Let me move this over here, get it centered up. And I'll tell you what's important to me, what I'm thinking about. So the first thing that people are going to freak out about is this really, unless I go really big and expensive, this isn't going to connect to the house. Like, you got to walk into the garage and walk upstairs. So this will be a separate part of the house. You're going to walk it through the portico under a covered walkway. So you walk outside, but I mean, it is Florida. And you walk outside and you walk into the garage and then you walk upstairs. I'm not interested in an elevator or anything like that. And because then an elevator adds a box to my garage somewhere inside that I don't want to do. Or I'd have to bolt a box onto the exterior of the house. But people are 100% right. We'll probably make this a 4.5-foot stairwell, much bigger stairwell. But when you come up, and I know walking into the wall is not going to be the way to go. I get that. But I didn't know how to make a 90-degree wash or a staircase. So I don't know how this is going to look or where this is going to go. But here are the things that I'm going to need. The architect's going to help me with this. So we need a guest room. The problem is I don't need a guest room of this magnitude. So we have a master bath in the corner here, 2 master-sized closets, this giant guest room that's, 18 by 20-something feet long. And actually, I'm, depending on, this was the old design. I have it 5 feet bigger, so this is actually 5 feet longer now. I'm not 100% what to do this, but I wanted to give my architect an idea what I'm looking for, and then he knows how to lay out a house better than I do. Like, I don't think that this walkway here is going to be the best use of space and how this is going to work. But I wanted to sort of give him an idea of what I'm thinking. The one thing that is important to me is I want an office that, what would you call this shape? I don't know if it's a U shape, but I want this U-shaped section here. And so I want an office something like this, where I have a podcast-type conference table. I want a giant L-shaped desk. I think this desk is like 100 inches long by 100 inches. I want probably to have some woodwork behind here, some like built-ins. But this room to be like sound dead, completely isolated. I'm going to be doing a soundproof isolated door. This whole thing here is going to have U-channel. It's going to have quiet rock, multiple sheets of probably 3/4 inch quiet rock with green glue in between, with isolation channels and insulation in between. This is going to be the AV rack here and utility closet, because what I want to do is build. So this will be a 7.1. Actually, no, 7.2.4 is what this will be. So Dolby Atmos surround, just a couch just big enough for me to lay on, not for a bunch of people. This is my place. And I bet you I end up watching way more movies and things here than I would in the darn home theater. So this is something where I can play with, I love building desks. I love building home theater stuff. I love trying and buying new speakers and things like that. And so I'm thinking like, now this is much longer term, but I'm thinking like B&W, Diamond Signature 800 series speakers, like, $50,000 pair of speakers, and Macintosh amplifiers. And I'm thinking this is going to be like, it will have, some sort of large OLED display, and then some killer interior speakers. But the key is this wall is completely noise isolated, acoustic treated. I may even think about hiring some sort of acoustics engineer to engineer the size of this room to make sure we don't have any odd standing waves or anything like that. So this office, the requisites are, I want a couch, super awesome, comfortable couch that fits me, that I can sit and have a 2-channel. I'll have a center position where I can listen to 2-channel audio, which I'll never do, but I want to know that I could if I could someday. and then and do again BMW 800 or Dynaudio Contour 60s or something crazy here with Macintosh. They have monoblock amps that have that are bi-amplified output, where the high frequencies are powered by vacuum tubes and the low frequency by solid state amplifiers, stuff like that, where I'd have the amp sitting here on display, do some crazy subwoofers and stuff like that. Where this is like knock your socks off, rip your face off, freaking amazing audio right here.
You got a good question here from Alfredo with regard to the top part here.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have any sort of opening from the top to view the awesomeness on the bottom floor?
No.
Kind of like a driver's club where there's that.
No, that's
area.
nerd dad thing to do. I don't care about that. I'm not going to have some glass floor or some weird mezzanine or anything like that. I don't like that. Not going to like have some car on display upstairs. It's just not my style. Just like there isn't going to be some red stripe on the wall. It's not happening. And so this office is the only room I really care about, and then really the other room that we kind of need, is because we only have 3 bedrooms in our house now, is a real guest room. So this is like a normal a nice sized guest room with a bathroom attached to it. No, I don't want a bathroom dedicated specifically to my office. Again, I don't have explosive diarrhea every 30 minutes of my life, so I go to the bathroom when I need to go to the bathroom. I get up and take a leak when you need to take one. Just like I don't wash my hands every time I frickin' take a leak because I don't pee on my hands. Even if I did, the pee is cleaner than my hands probably were to begin with. It's freaking stupid. So I don't need a bathroom in my office. I don't we're not having big parties, so I'm not planning my house around some party. This is me. This is where I'm going to be, and my family's going to be. And occasionally have some friends over, and they stay in the guest room here or here. Michelle's requisite for this, because it isn't attached to the house. I argued this because why do I need more than one freaking kitchen? Just walk to the kitchen and get a drink. She wants, like, if Mike Figuera comes and visits, that he can just get a drink out of here. It doesn't have to come over to the house if he doesn't want to. And so I'm going to put some sort of cabinet depth Sub-Zero fridge. I'll have a sink here, maybe a microwave, like a Wolf microwave, something that doesn't look like some goofy white trash separate kitchen that every dude dreams of, with a popcorn maker and a freaking candy bar stand. I hate that bullcrap. This is everything you've been dreaming of, isn't it?
No, you're ruining all my dreams here. I'm never coming over.
Oh, I'm in all the home theater groups, and once a week somebody's like, "So what is your wet bar look like?" I don't need a freaking bar. I'm not mixing up people's drinks. We're not a bunch of freaking babies here. Maybe have some sort of little high top table, and the chances of me putting a pool table in here are like negative something. Yeah. But I wanted to scale wise, I just put a pool table in here, whatever.
I was wondering about that.
Regulation size pool table to kind of see what that would look like, and we do some sort of game room type thing for the kids as they grow up. And so what'll probably happen is this will likely change structurally quite a bit. The architect's going to give me a lot of input here on what to do. But the key is 2-channel audio and then home theater capability, conference table. So a giant office, and we this is like 40 feet long, so it's probably too big. So that's what I'm thinking about. Doing upstairs there.
A lot of people drooling here over your audio plans. And then Zach here says, with your 125K audio system.
Oh, it'd be more than that. Way more than that.
The way that Heart of Dixie was meant to be viewed. Whatever her name is, Rachel, whatever. Never sounded
Rachel
so
Bielson.
Yeah.
Look, check this out, man. This is what I want. Products, amplifiers. Right here, MC901. Dual mono amplifier. Look at that thing. You put that right on a little stand right next to the fronts. But dual mono, so meaning that it has a 600 watt solid state amp and a 300 watt vacuum tube amp. vacuum tubes being cleaner sounding. I would get a some sort of like Samico turntable or something like that in here, and then either do Dyne Audio Contour, the Contour 60s or something like that someday. Again, this is the dream. This is like Obsessed Garage is doing like 80 million, and I've actually paid myself. This would be freaking insane. Do something insane like these Contour 60s in there, or like B&W 800, or something even crazier like Wilson Audio or something like that. But I think this would be the freaking dream, to have a 2-channel system that I probably would never use, but know that I could if I wanted to. The one time that I want to do that. But 800 Diamond series, and come on, this one here. So 800 D3. So we do something like that, with. They're only 29,000 a pair, but the Dyne Audios are 60,000 a pair, or something crazy like that. The amplifiers are 17,000 a piece, and you need 3 of them, one for the center, one for each speaker.
Can you get them in gentian blue?
And you can get them in whatever you want.
I'm sure.
So anyway, that's what I'm thinking about for the 2-channel setup there, for my future crazy office. And most of the time, I'll be sitting here at the desk, clicking on whatever Milwaukee accessory package I'm building or interested in at the time, and because I'm basically a professional shopper, that's what I've been doing all day, is looking at drill bits and hole saws and what do we need for that, and something like that is what I'm kind of excited about. And then maybe we build a game room with the kids with some speakers. So I've got some speakers placed in here, like in-ceiling speakers or something like that. The other thing I'm not about is goofy home automation crap. Like, I don't need like some special panel to frickin' turn a light switch on or off. I just don't. I don't see the point. I don't want this frickin' stupid. Hey Alexa, turn my lights off. Just frickin' get up and turn the light off. I'd have some Lutron dimmers, but I don't need that stuff just doesn't. It's like, again, it's just white trash fancy. So the other thing that I would consider if we're going to go full on. So my guess is, you guys can tell me, but my guess is going to be about $650,000 to build this. I don't know, something like that. So if let's say it's like 4,200 square feet on the base floor. I'm thinking, $150 a square foot, total, I don't know, 600, 700 grand. And I know that's insane, but remember, this garage is going to generate millions of dollars of sales of product, and it's going to add value to my house. And I'm just going to refinance the house, and it's going to add $2,000 a month to my payment, so not a big deal. What's Mike saying here?
We have some humorous chats here about what you would tell Alexa to do if you had Alexa. Alexa, turn on Heartland. Alexa, order Little Debbie's.
It's just like, what? I don't. Alexa, turn on my LED light strips on the wall so I get some blinky light. You want some purple lights in your freaking house? I'm a grown up, not a baby. I'm not having even if I was a 20-year-old college student, I'm not having a party with some weird pink lights. You blasting music. This is what, so I'd somehow get suckered into going to a bar like twice a year by my friends, and we go, and everybody's screaming at each other from 2 feet away. Like, why don't they turn the stupid music down so we can have a conversation? And why has it got to be sweaty and disgusting and the floor sticky? It's just never understood any of this stuff. So I'm not doing that in my house where I need all this weird crap. I'm such a contrarian. It's going
to be the most boring garage ever.
Yeah, that's what I want.
No purple lights.
No colors.
Jukebox? You're going to have a
gray
jukebox?
Walls, gray floors, great lighting. little splash of blue from a few, place product. Actually, probably not any blue anymore because those black or gray Cox hose reels look awesome. We can do the black piping and stuff in here.
Someone asked about flooring. Are you going to stick with Swiss tracks, or are you going to go to porcelain tile you've always dreamt of?
I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. There will be some Swiss tracks in here, I'm sure, but I'm likely in the wash bay going to find some really amazing anti-skid. Sorry, I'm seeing that.
You're reading the
How much time do I have for impending explosive diarrhea? I mean, I know I'm speaking the same thing that most people think. I just say it. But if they don't think it, they're like, that makes sense. I don't pee on my hands every time I go to the bathroom. So just because somebody's dad told them they should doesn't mean I have to do what everybody else does.
Alexa, tell Bryce I need his baby hands to install something. That's good. Oh, man.
So that's the garage. What I was talking about was, so this over here on the right, this is the attic space. So I don't need any extra attic space. So other people would be asking, well, where are you going to put all your car parts and all that? This here is like 80 feet long. That's like, all attic space that I've got virtually nothing in. Because I threw away all my home theater boxes and all that crap, so I cleaned it out and had a giant bonfire last month because I cleaned this out because this is all getting spray foam insulated. So we're spray foaming the house. That's doing that next week, and then we're going to be taking the inverted air handler and changing where that goes, and the interior of the house is going to become much more efficient, sealed up. I'm not going to have hot and cold spots anymore. It's going to be freaking awesome. So I'm doing that right now. And so this area here, we'll put a little doorway so that I can get, carry my exhaust up the stairs and put it in here. But the problem is putting a hallway through here to the house just isn't going to work. It's not tall enough. Like I have to duck, so you wouldn't even be able to it'd be like having this little dungeon you'd walk through. The only way you could do it to make it cool is if it was like some sort of secret pathway that you made, but that's not going to work. It's too short. And so because this structure is going to be higher than the house, you'll have a few steps down just to get into the attic, but this will be more like just to walk into if you needed to throw something in there. But this is where all the utilities going to go, all the air handlers and all that stuff is going to go in here. Any water heater, if we need another water heater or something like that, is going to go in here. And what we could do, I've considered, this would require major surgery to the house, is we could do some sort of walkway upstairs here. The walkway or some sort of mezzanine walkway would go up, again, it's a second-story walkway, and then go and attach the second-story walkway to the house. But that means we're like cutting a hole in the roof and putting I-beams in and doing some crazy stuff. I may consider that. I'll talk to the architect about that, but we wouldn't want to do it. It could work really well in the front of the house, but then you have this weird space-age catwalk walking across the front of the house, which wouldn't work. So it'd have to be in the back side of the house, which means major construction. And so I don't know if we would do something like that. I don't know that it matters that much to just walk through the breezeway downstairs and then walk up the stairs. Because, again, walking through this attic isn't going to work. It's just not going to work. No ping pong tables either.
Unfortunately, it looks like Luke says we triggered his Alexa at his house talking about it and added Little Debbie's to his cart. That's pretty good.
Well, I don't understand. Sorry, you Luke. Guys. Why do I go to people's houses, like, check this out, Alexa, and it doesn't work like 90% of the time. Alexa! They're screaming at it. Turn my douche lights on. It's so stupid. Like, what is the point of that? I don't.
Alexa, send $100 super chat. Let's see if it works. No ping pong table.
Yeah,
Is there a plan for dedicated showroom away from the house? I would feel uncomfortable having so many random people come to my house.
No one's coming to my house. This isn't for Obsessed Garage. This is for me. So no one's coming here. If they do, I would have invited them. But like, again, I'm not having big parties and crap, then that's what we can have it here at HQ, right down the street, a mile away. So we're still going to have this building. This building's about to get really cool, too. So I'm going to go from no garages to really flush with garages. You know, we're going to have it really, really set up. It's going to be freaking great. So anyway, like I was saying, from a logistics perspective, financing wise, if I get lucky, which I guess it wouldn't really be lucky, but I think we're gonna have a really amazing Black Friday, assuming there isn't an economic meltdown here coming up. After the the election and all this stuff, we will probably have a pretty solid spring as well. I don't owe any more money to Raymond James, so that's good. We're gonna get we're gonna pay our 2020 taxes here coming up, probably from the proceeds from Black Friday, and so I'm hopefully gonna be flush with cash after this run. And then be able to maybe just write a check for the garage. But what I'll likely do is we'll get a construction permanent financing sort of loan, and so we'll submit the plans to a lender and say, here's what we're doing. And then you get an appraisal on the plans, and then they you get a construction loan, which you pay simple interest on, and they'll make disbursements to the builder. I haven't selected a builder yet, but the architect that I'm using is a design build firm, so I'd like him to do it if possible. And then again, I'd have let's say the house appraises for $1.7 million with this, then I borrow whatever it is I borrow, and put down whatever it is I put down, and I'll share all that stuff, I'm sure, through the process of this thing here. So that's the plan. Am I missing anything? It's gonna be freaking great.
Let's see. We have a suggestion here from Facebook earlier from Wes. I definitely recommend Latticrete products for your floors. You ever heard of them? They'll likely meet your caliber of durability. They may be willing to participate in a video segment, as they've just finished one recently. Latticrete.
I think that's like a backing for, or that's like thin set for. I don't know what he's talking about. I'll have to look into it.
Do you have any exterior views handy around there?
I don't. I haven't built anything yet, but it will look like earlier in the podcast when I showed that what the original garage was supposed to look like. What was that? House plans, Woodgate, garage plans. And then it was this one here. So just from a look perspective, it's going to look something like this. And the architect's already working on this, so we'll have some elevation views and things like that in the future of what's going to look like. But it's going to have hardy board to match the house. It'll have to have stone as well, stone on some of the perimeter. And then we'll have all kinds of windows and dormers and all that stuff. So like upstairs, I don't have any dormers built in. I don't know how that would work, but we'll have to have that to match what the style of the house looks like. But this whole thing's going to be freaking awesome. I feel like I'm ready. And then the other thing I'm going to pursue, I think, for the first time, because I can do this without losing credibility and stuff, is I think I'm going to pursue. So I'm going to create some sort of deck and what I think the value of this is, and try to pursue some sponsorship. So, what if maybe I could raise $150,000 of sponsorship money to help me pay for this thing. So instead of $650,000, maybe it only costs $500,000. And I'm saying $650,000 without anything in it. So the cool thing about a garage, there isn't a lot to put in it. And then pursue cabinets and lighting, and see if I can do product spots and showcases and make great videos. And I know people on YouTube were commenting about, well, you don't get enough views. I said, yeah, but I get views from the right people. One thing I can do, the only reason I'm able to build this garage is I can frickin' sell ice to Eskimos, because I'm selling amazing stuff and I'm pretty good at it. And so this garage is going to be like the ultimate place to sell really freaking cool stuff. If Evan Shanks did it in his garage, then I'm probably not going to want it. What is Laticrete? Let me look this up. What these guys
Laticrete.
I'm probably going to hate it. Let's see. Is this like the final finish? Laticrete.
Sure.
I thought it was just grout. Yeah, isn't it just grout? I'm doing some goofy decorated flooring. Help me out here. What are you guys talking about? I just think Laticrete is a darn grout that you would use underneath your tile. Our products. Find products. Yeah, tile and stone installation, tile and stone care. Yeah, this is like stuff they sell at Home Depot, I think. You just back butter your porcelain tiles. Not ceramic tile. You don't do ceramic tile in a garage. So, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I don't think I'll be taking any cues from young YouTubers about a garage design. I don't think I need any of that. We'll be going a little more sophisticated. So that's what I got for you today. Oh, it was only an hour and 10 minutes. I thought it was going to take me 3 hours.
A couple other questions, somewhat related. Henry on Facebook wants to know when the next Sonic video will be out. We had one last week with all the 1,800 tools. So is there another one lined up?
No. Now I'm waiting on 160 more tools to show up, and then we'll start digging into, separating it out into the ultimate kit and then how to organize and all that. So I'm probably a month and a half away or so. Later this year, early next year, before I get back into it. I'm waiting for some back-ordered stuff. Probably the next video will be torque wrenches, so I need to create the torque wrench package. So,
all right, Tim in the chat says, Laticrete was the company that makes the floor coating system. It was a polyaspartic coating.
Oh, hell no. Absolutely, positively not. No. You guys got to stop with this. You have to stop with this. Polyaspartic is the same freaking thing as epoxy. It's just a different version of it. It's garbage. There will be no epoxy, no polyaspartic, no grandma chips on my freaking floor. It's going to be one of three things: polished, burnished, sealed concrete, which will be repolished with a heavy particulate that's ground down so you can see it. Option 1. Option 2, Swiss tracks. Option 3 is a really high end, which is going to cost a freaking $100,000 to do in this garage. A high end, high slip, high density porcelain tile. But no, you freaking guys are nuts with this. Stop with this epoxy bull crap. Have you ever seen an epoxy floor that looks good? I haven't. It doesn't happen. It looks good from 25 feet away or in photos, but not in real life. So just stop this nonsense. I can't take it anymore. You guys are nuts. Yeah. So, sorry, I don't want to start alienating 50% of the garage guys who say, no, I got my epoxy, looks great. Sure it does. I'm sure it looks great. Good luck with that. 50, 60% failure rate, but it has a lifetime warranty. It's like getting a lifetime warranty on your heart. When it stops, who cares if you have a warranty? You're dead. Same thing with the frickin' floor. It's like warranting the paint on your car. Oh, great. Now you're going to strip it off and repaint it. So porcelain tile, you could drop a frickin' sledgehammer from 20 feet up, and it's not going to break if it's done properly. So you don't have to worry about that. So anyway, but the problem with polished concrete is that, well, it's not. This is where burnishing and sealing. If you look at the floors at Drivers Club, my friend Doug Perry's done a lot of work on figuring out how to make that happen. You really need to take into consideration having your floors poured after the facility's done. You're going to have to you need to do a pretty significant process at curing and making sure you're burnishing it, so that way when you dump some oil on it, doesn't seep in, because generally polished concrete is not going to be good.
All right, got a couple other quick questions here. One from SHG Mike. He's the guy who designed our pumping station next door.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to know, who is your I&D or your go-to store for mountain bike parts? Every site seems unorganized and confusing. Hope all is well.
Yeah, the guy for that is called Worldwide Cyclery. He's like the obsessed garage of, I guess I'm the Worldwide Cyclery of garages. His Worldwide Cycler is pretty good, but I'm still not in love with the site. There's too much on it, but they're kind of the the content guys around. They have a great YouTube channel. I still think they should do a better job on like, here, buy this bike. Like, I want to go buy a Yeti. Like, they should provide a solution. Like, I'd buy a Yeti hardtail if they just had it on here, and I could outfit it however I wanted, and they just build it and send it to you in like a crate. But there's still there's just too much going on here. But these guys have a great YouTube channel, and it's the same kind of thing where they provide value by giving you information on what they would suggest and what they recommend. But yeah, Worldwide Cyclery is the place that I go to.
All right, there you go, Mike. And then we had a super chat here a little while back from DG. It says, good afternoon. Mm-hmm. Two-part question. We've addressed some of this, but I'll let you do it again. Are you planning a washlet / bidet or urinal in the new garage?
No, and no.
And
just
that was
just
part
a
one.
Toilet.
And when can we have a Jeff moderated podcast?
Probably never. He'll be bouncing off the walls. Oh boy.
All right.
I'm done. I quit. That's what I'm doing.
All right. So thank you all for tuning in.
That's the garage. Yeah, maybe we'll have a GoFundMe for Maddie's garage so we can afford it. How do you think that'll go? How much money do you think I'll raise? $80? $90?
Mm-hmm.
Zero.
Zero.
Yeah. All right, people. We'll see you on the next one.